Well, my friends, cheers.
Oh, yeah.
Are we all in the frame? We're in the frame, man. All right, I get to kick back here at the Bootlegger studio with two very cool blues virtuosos, and I'm proud to say my friends. Albert, please introduce yourself.
Name's Albert Trepagnier Jr. from New Orleans, Louisiana.
Ray, please introduce yourself.
Ray Bailey Jr. from Watts, California.
You're my competition in high school.
Yep.
All right. Yep. How did this happen? Well, I have a Bootlegger blues band. Pickle, my harmonica, we call him Pickle. You know why? Because he's got a plastic pickle that yodels.
Oh,
and he brings it out, you know.
Oh, okay.
So we call it a pickle. All right. Bob Aries, I can never pronounce his name. Thank you. Close enough.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to see this.
Yeah.
So introduce me to Albert because we need a drummer. Albert, his history speaks for itself. Albert turned me on into Ray. Ray came to one of our jams, Bootlegger jams, and I go, well, man, like, do you play guitar? And he goes, a little. You know, do you sing? He says, a little. You know, here my band's up there, you know, working hard, sweating, you know, then this dude comes up to sit in, and we didn't have to say nothing. You know. It was downright amazing. So, you know, that's the cool thing about playing blues, right?
That's right.
Meeting everybody. And
everybody, the blues community is a big community.
Yeah, it is.
And everybody loves each other in the blues community. That's what I like.
Well,
it's funny that we used to play.
Yeah, tell that story, man. You grew up going to Narvine High School. I went to Gardena High School.
Yeah. You played basketball,
yeah.
And then I played football.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
So we used to play against each other.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Like a year's difference in our age.
And you were talking about how you guys were in the same studio.
Yeah.
But you were an hour apart or something?
Something like that. I was recording with a group called Gift of Dreams. A couple guys, Mike Rochelle, bass player from Kansas City, and we did a CD together through an independent label called Jam Power Records out of Northridge. And we would rehearse there in the afternoon. It was about a 9-piece band. So Ray would go there during the daytime, and they would do some studio work there too, because they had a home studio. Matter of fact, it was a nice studio because we had got some 8-track 3M machines we bought from A&M Records. When they went 24-track, they had these machines laying around, and Earl Palmer, the old drummer, played with the Wrecking Crew. Took us over there. And we ended up getting a couple machines from them. So Ray and them would go in the daytime, where they would tell them they'd have to split before the rehearsal. And he and I missed each other for about 4 or 5 years, looking for each other.
And I'm asking for.
And we're in the same studio.
Where's happening?
Just different times, man.
Nobody tell me that.
Because Ray, one of the first guys I met out here when I moved out here from New Orleans. Ray was working with a guy doing the dude that done an album.
You was about to be a father.
Yeah, because it wasn't on CDs. And yeah, my first kid was getting ready to be born. Yeah, and that's when I met Ray.
Yeah. And how long you been playing together now?
Oh man, probably 40-something years.
At least.
Yeah, on and off, about 40-something years. Yeah, because I've been playing blues with Bernie Pearl out of Long Beach. We used to be on 88.1. Plus, he started the Long Beach Blues Festival. I've been playing with him about 37 years. So there's several bands I play in, but Bernie, he's the one who really introduced me to serious blues, because we got to play behind harmonica Fats, Papa John Preach, Big Willie. Everybody, man. And he did the blues shows. He'd have Albert Collins, Albert King, everybody, man. His brother had the club, the Ash Grove. Yeah, the Ash Grove on Melrose.
Bernie used to open for all them.
Yeah, Taj Mahal and all of them. Yeah, Bernie opened up. He started off there as a dishwasher, ended up learning guitar from all the old blues cats used to come through there and play at his brother's place. So he learned guitar and been playing ever since. Now he's a blues historian.
He was dishwashing hearing these guys play.
Yeah. And they all start teaching him guitar, man. And now he's a blues historian, man. He teach classes and everything, blues classes at his house. And whenever he got a gig for the band, we played with a lot of. He's in his 80s now, so he plays a lot of acoustic stuff, solo stuff, but just him and the bass player. But whenever we got a special event where he's gonna have the band, then we get together. Like we jammed last week at Morrison's.
Like he's one of the folks that I want to put this blues series together for.
Oh yeah,
To hire all to keep this tradition.
Now you get Bernie involved, he'll bring all kinds of blues bands to Barbers with his stuff. We started Blue Monday because we used to do the Blue Monday there years ago, and we just, no matter what Barbara did, we just couldn't get the neighborhood folks to come out.
Yeah.
So Bernie ran it for a while, and Big Terry DeRone, who's gone now, he played with that. He was on Etta James's last album on guitar. Terry's my homeboy. He's gone, and he started a Monday Night Blues there. Then they turned it over to Sherry Pruitt. She did it for a while, but I played with all of them. Sometimes, man, you wouldn't get a good 10 people in there. But Mike Gillioni came in, him and his wife, and they started, sponsoring a lot of stuff.
So you got all that going, you might get 10 people there.
Yeah, with some of the baddest musicians in town, but the neighborhood
That's what
folks wouldn't come out. But Bernie didn't come out now because when Bernie would come out, he would do a lot of advertising, and that would help, we've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, I hope to get involved with that now with you guys. When we're talking about bringing that back.
Yeah.
So you're from New Orleans, and you were a drummer in New Orleans as a young man.
Yeah, I used to play.
How young were you when you were playing out there?
Well, when I was like, I guess I started playing a set of drums. I used to play just a snare drum when I was young. Then I stopped playing for a while. I started playing ball and stuff. And then got back on the drums, I guess 18, 19 years old. And then we started a band. I was with a band, this guy, Shelton McGee, a friend of mine, called me for a gig, and I had never been on a gig. So I played with him. And then once I played a few little clubs with him, he got us a gig in the French Quarter at a place called the Horse Stable. We started playing there 6 nights a week. So started getting it going really good.
That's work.
Yeah, that's work. that's like going to a job. Yeah, that's it. When you hit that French Quarter, feel like you're in the atmosphere would feel like you was in a whole different space.
Yeah. I love the French Quarter in small amounts.
Yeah.
The large amounts of the French Quarter is a little hard to deal with. So there's a distinctive sound rhythmically out of New Orleans. And it just draws me there. And you have that distinctive sound. When you draw that rhythm.
This man's father used to play fast stuff.
Cover? Yeah. Your father played drums?
Well, he played little drums and vocals. Well, him and Fats were real good friends. And as a matter of fact, where we lived, Fats was only 3 blocks from us. So I go down there and chew the fat with him, and he'd always play the piano and let me hear new songs he was writing and stuff like that. Fat was a cool guy, man.
So he kind of was one of the first black artists to kind of break through.
Yeah,
he was on like white mainstream TV.
Yeah. He and Dave Bartholomew wrote a whole bunch of hits.
Yeah. Little Richard, I guess. Was that same era kind of when that stuff was
same area. Little Richard used to be down there too. Playing down there. So many people started. Ray Charles used to be down there too.
Yeah. Amazing.
Everybody would come down to New Orleans.
I go for the music.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, the music on Bourbon Street right now is changing a lot.
Oh,
you got to go to the Frenchman Street.
Frenchman Street.
Yeah.
Go to a drastically changed now.
Yep.
The Balcony Music Club.
Balcony?
Balcony.
No, I've never been at Balcony.
That's where your boys is working. They used to play Mama Love.
Oh, you talking about Johnny Mastro? Yeah. Well, they all came after when I left there. He's a new musician to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Because I used to play with his wife, Lisa C. We used to play on the Venice Bistro on the boardwalk down there. But Johnny started there, and then he turned the gig over to Lisa, his wife. And then we started doing the Venice Bistro. Yeah.
Well, when you play with this guy, unmistakably, so that's right. Warehouse noise. The rhythm, is in you. And I just love getting into it and just like riffing with that. With you, and that joyous, how would you describe it differently?
Well, New Orleans beats is a lot of syncopation.
Okay.
And that's what New Orleans drum would be. It's almost like a funk and a second line beat all mixed together.
Okay.
And a lot of people say it's gumbo.
Gumbo.
So that's what Charles Heron said when we played last week. He said, "Man, he put the gumbo in it. That's how you know how to play."
Yeah.
That's the first thing I noticed was it felt like home when me and you first played together.
Yeah.
All my people from New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
I was born out here.
Yeah, you're from Los Angeles.
But all my people, most of them,
Louisiana people.
Louisiana or Tulsa.
Yeah.
See, after hanging out with him, I would have thought you were from Louisiana, but you grew up like me around here in L.A. Yeah, we were, man. We went 1 year apart, like at the Marine League, Norwalk, and Gardena High. And I don't think our paths crossed, but we were doing the same thing.
I grew up with like Rhino Hill, the Bus Boys, all the guys from Hiroshima.
Oh, yeah. Oh, great.
I was writing big band songs from Gardena at the time.
Oh, okay.
I was playing a lot of jazz. I was working with an organ trio with like Tim Pope and his dad when I was like 15, 16 years old.
Cool. Been doing it a long time.
And then we were working at the bowling alley down there on Central Market 35th in front of Bootlegger.
Oh, yeah. I remember Duto.
That's where I met Sonny.
Oh, okay.
He came in there and was working with Johnny. Did a couple of things with Johnny Pope back there.
Yeah, I remember.
Tim Pope, his son, he plays with he's the drummer. He plays with Tony Orlando. They're about to go out of business. I think he's retiring.
They're retired?
Yeah.
So, a young man growing up in Los Angeles playing the blues. What was the scene like back then? Like in your 20s or,
Man, there were clubs from like Imperial Highway all the way to Pico.
Really?
In LA.
All right.
On like Broadway, Western, Main Street.
Sure. Yeah.
Avalon, all the there were clubs all the way. You could work literally, 7 nights a week if you wanted to.
Wow.
Easily.
Yeah.
And all of the clubs had after hours. So a lot of times I would get off till 6 in the morning.
That's the way when I first came
Some
out
be
here.
coming up with it.
It was like that for me because I used to play with Elroy and them at the Ruby out on 14 Western.
Yeah.
And then we would leave there and go to the little club on Vermont and play. We'd get off at 1:32
Which
o'clock.
club on Vermont?
It was on the other side from Smokey Wilson's place, the Pioneer Club.
Okay.
We played there.
I remember that.
We played there till from 3 to 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
They said my drums be playing
many
themselves when
nights
they get close to 7. I said my eyes be closed, I still wouldn't miss a beat.
Were they sneaking in a couple bottles for those late nights?
Oh man, that's why I was drinking. That's why I was drinking that 151 rum. That's what I'm on cokes now.
I used to play with Philip Walker
Yeah, I remember Philip.
on 104th and Western,
Yeah.
and they had a truck that they would sell liquor out of, and then you could go in the club and buy a setup from Philip.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Because they didn't have liquor license, so they gave you the little tub of ice,
and you could buy hot dogs.
and then you get the 7-Up in the cokes and stuff.
And they
hot
had
dogs.
They had chili dogs and stuff.
So they were setting you up with your bottle.
Oh yeah.
And you pay your admission. You could buy your. That was Philip's truck.
Yeah, go ahead.
That was Philip's truck out there. And he was selling liquor. And then inside you get your ice, your soda pop, whatever to go with it, and a hot dog. He was hustling all the way around, and then we were playing the blues till 6 in the morning.
Well, Philip used to drive that little. He had like a little bus.
Mm-hmm.
he would drive that thing to Kansas to play.
Yeah.
Philip walk in his band, because I remember all of them saying the guys would go with, they'd be complaining.
You remember
They still get on that raggedy bus and go all the way on tour with them, Broadway and all of them.
You remember Don Johnson?
Yeah, I remember
They used to
Don
play
Johnson.
with Taste the Honey.
Yeah.
Don was working with Philip. They ride back and forth up to Canada. Don lives in Canada.
Oh, really?
He lives in Calgary.
He liked it so much.
And he gave up playing drums. He's just singing now.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever wonder about the blues, just sit between these two guys because it's uniquely family, man. Like all the stuff you're talking about. I mean, I play the blues. I love the blues. I'm a blues musician, and whatever talent I have, I really don't care. I just love playing the blues. But I'm always wanting to learn and move. But it is family, and it really it's a universal family.
Yeah.
And to hear these stories, because here I'm a year older than this cat. All this shit, like I'm asking you guys about LA, like I'm in my 20s. I never heard of any of this. You know, it wasn't. You couldn't pick up a paper and say, "Oh, I see." Like Florence in Maine is a club, and we're going to go down there on Saturday night and catch the blues. I mean,
when I first came,
we weren't getting that. White kids at the beach who loved the music weren't getting that information.
Yeah,
well, you know what was weird back then, and it still stays in my head. When we would play at Dave and Mickey's on 53rd and Central, a lot of times there would be doctors from Japan.
Oh yeah, sure.
There'd be like music executives from Hollywood.
Yeah.
There'd be a guy who worked on bumpers and did body work from down the street.
Wow.
There'd be, and all these people common denominator was the
everybody
blues.
would come to the same place to
They
jam.
come into the same place. The precinct captain from Newton Street police station will be sitting in the back of the club.
Yeah.
You know,
Want to enjoy the blues.
dope dealers will be sitting in the club too.
Sure. Oh yeah.
But they all, in there.
It's like
everybody was friends.
One
with
big
family.
happy family.
Yeah.
And then when they went back out on the street,
they go back to what they were doing before.
But the music brought all of them into the same.
Because when we played at the Ruby, Linda Hopkins and all them used to come. You know who else used to come every weekend? Percy Mayfield.
Yeah,
Percy Mayfield wrote all those hits for Ray Charles.
I used to work with him.
He would come there, and we would always say, "Okay, Percy, on the second set, you're gonna sit in with us." By that time, he'd be so drunk he'd be asleep. But his wife, Tina Mayfield, she promoted a lot of concerts and stuff, and Tina would be there too. And Linda Hopkins would come and sing. All these big time people would come to this hold the wall on the corner.
Oh yeah.
Especially on Sunday, because on Sunday, Miss Ruby cooked.
Yeah.
So everybody got to eat soul food, and we'd have a good time, man.
Yeah.
And she
was
was
soul food and blues at the same place.
Oh yeah.
That's how far back.
Why didn't I know this?
Yeah,
I mean,
had a good time.
Man, I go down to the South and eat, or New Orleans and eat. Oh,
Yeah.
there's nothing like it.
That's how far back me and Barbara.
Yeah.
Me and Barbara was working in a place on Figueroa, right off of, at that time, Santa Barbara Avenue before they changed it to King Boulevard.
Was that the Dodger Club or whatever?
No, we worked there too.
I worked the Dodger Club.
But this place was called the Grand Prix.
Oh, the Grand Prix. I worked at the Grand Prix before. We
were working there with Red, the five player, played organ. Red, I can't think of his name. Anyway, that was like maybe 1970s.
Yeah, I wasn't out here then. I could come out here till 75.
Maybe a little later. Might have been about 75, 70s, maybe 76. But Barbara, and even then, she was awesome.
Oh, Barbara was so bad, man.
She hadn't got the gig with Doc Severinsen yet.
Yeah, she worked with Doc.
This is the same Barbara that had the club.
Yeah.
Well, please explain that, both you guys. I mean, what exactly? What was it that she was doing with her clubs?
Well, Barbara
started that club what you call it, a club, was a theater.
Theater.
Yeah, it was a
And,
theater.
and she had plays in there.
She
had
made it a
music
performing.
and-
It was called. It was a
I
performing.
didn't know that.
It was a performing arts center.
Got it. Okay.
She had acting
about
classes there, music classes there, dance classes there. Because we have a guy that did tap dance, and then he taught the kids how to tap dance. He's still around too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Chester
Yeah.
Whitmore.
Yeah. Chester. And Chester goes all to Europe tapping and stuff.
Chester
His
was
own
working
plays
with
and everything,
companies back
man.
in the day.
Oh man, this.
And he writes
You're
arrangements.
going to meet all these people when
Yeah,
you get involved with Barbara's Place. You're going to meet so many people.
So to put this all together, Barbara recently passed away,
She
Yeah.
did.
and her is it one theater or two? I forgot.
She has one
She had a
theater,
museum too.
but she has the other theater at the end of the block.
Okay.
Tim just got that.
Yeah, that's
And
for
he's
the
running
museum.
it for the Cultural Affairs Department.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they got a museum they're getting ready to build, and we got a guy that used to handle the archives at UCLA is getting ready to come in and curate everything. It's about to turn into something.
It's getting ready to be something big again.
Well, that's
All the work she did is going to come to pass now.
yeah.
She died before she could complete it.
I guess that's
Well,
not
it's gonna
unusual in
happen now.
history,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, she was such a beautiful person.
The guy that I'm working with, that was Barbara's personal assistant.
Yeah.
Back before she passed, he has a company. He has a nonprofit called Ambassador Arts,
Yeah.
and Ambassador Arts is like handling all of that. What she was trying to do as far as promoting music in the community.
Awesome.
So between that, what Tim is doing, and we're all on the same page,
Yeah.
working together now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's very exciting. That's great. And to bring back around, my introduction to jazz, my introduction to the blues was by a young guy buying albums. I mean, I'd buy a Rolling Stones album, and it would say Robert Johnson wrote this song. I mean, they gave back.
Right.
Some bands kind of stole music, and some bands pointed that
Right.
this is
They gave props to everybody, that it was music they did.
yeah, exactly. And
This is like they love Billy Preston.
yes, and they used
Well,
it.
the Beatles the ones really love Billy Preston.
Yeah,
She was the Six Beast or something.
yeah, man.
Beautiful Six, whatever it was.
Billy used to come into Laura's too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was down on Central.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
one. He was killer. So I'm listening to the blues by English rock band albums that then introduced me to what these guys were doing, which was when I come to find, the blues. Then, I'm probably, 10, 11 years old with my little plastic record player, 4-inch speaker, whatever. But I'm listening to it. My uncle, Howard Rumsey, had the jazz club, the Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I played that.
All right, so I'm going to bring that up because that was my upbringing in listening to
Music.
incredible music. So you played there.
I played that with Lee King.
Yeah.
And a matter of fact, when I played that, we played that with George and Monica Smith. Wow. Old harp player.
Right, I remember him.
Yeah, George go way back, man. Leo,
When I was going to
Lester.
Gardena High School, I used to ditch school and go see Elvis Coltrane.
Well, I was doing the same thing at the Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. The people that came through there. So that was my uncle, and so I was able, as a young man, if I behaved myself, he'd let me sneak in the back door and just kind of hang out. So I can't even remember all the bands that I heard. But you said you played there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, with Lee King.
I worked there with
He played there.
Lee King was really big time that day, man, because he had a big limo, came pick everybody up. I was just staying in L.A. then off of Deer Avenue.
Yeah, I remember.
And Lee
I
had a
remember that
limo
also
pick
good.
us up. He had a limo pick up George and Monica Smith. Oh, he was big time all the way there.
Yeah.
First class actor. Everybody trying to see who it is.
Yeah. That jazz, man, it blew my mind. And then when I was probably about 14, 15, I got, typical teenager, I got curious or rebellious. So I went, what's up with suit? I went up the stairs. I found the green room.
Oh, okay.
And there were some musicians up there waiting out. You know, I'm up in the green. They're looking, what are you doing up here? I go, I don't know. Have a seat, right?
Yeah.
There was some shit going on in there I've never seen before.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Howard came up, I don't know, 30 minutes later. He's like, what the hell are you doing up here? Kicking my ass out. Sorry, Howard, but I was curious.
Yeah. Just wanted to see what was going on.
So musically now, like today, I mean, this history is amazing. You guys have a couple gigs in the next month. One is at the Watchtowers, which if you don't know what the Watchtowers are, look it up. Google Watchtowers. I mean, it's an amazing story about
a story a lot of folks don't know.
Yeah, well,
is that those towers were built by this Italian guy that moved to Watts.
Mm-hmm.
He was an immigrant from Italy. He came and he started collecting bottles and bottle caps
and all kinds of
glass and just
trash
and made these towers.
Yeah.
And one of the kids that used to help him collect the bottles and pieces of glass was Charles Mingus. Yeah. He lived across the street when Simon Rodeo was building
the Watchtowers. Yeah, well, I'm going to be there taking a bunch of videos, so I'll be taking video of these guys performing as well as what the Watchtowers are, and that'll be on Bootlegger guitars. So, and then you got a gig coming up at Harvell's.
Yeah, Harvell's, Santa Monica.
Is that the last
Street?
One of the one of the last blues clubs in LA?
Probably, yeah. But another thing about a lot of folks don't know about Harvell.
Yeah.
Harvell's was a jazz club.
Okay.
I was the first blues act to work there.
Oh, really?
I was playing jazz there, and the guy came in and bought the club. His name was Reiner Beck. He was a doctor. And he came in and bought the club, and he said, can you guys play the blues? Because I'm changing this to the blues club.
Yeah.
And I played some B.B. King for him, and I was working there 7 nights a week when it opened.
Did you ever have any jazz cats, like be jealous of you playing the blues or getting gigs, or were they all friendly to you?
Not necessarily
It's all
jealous.
part of the same thing.
No, of course, musically, of
Not
course.
necessarily jealous, but disrespectful sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they thought blues was left.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
Yeah, I got that sometimes.
Yeah, because if you're not,
But then when they saw I could be,
you can do either way. Yeah, I get that. But I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
like my Uncle Howard hated rock and roll, hated the blues. He was a jazz man.
Yeah.
And then now I know why. Because these dudes work their whole life to get to a certain point where they're making this incredible music, and some band pops up with long hair out of England, and they're making a fortune.
Yeah.
So the jazz cats, were struggling.
Yeah.
But that's the way it is even today. I
But
mean,
the
there's
thing-
always going to be the young kid band.
The thing is that if people feel what you do, if they really feel what you do,
No, we know that, and I'll listen to all of it. But I think if you're
but you
you're a trained jazz musician and you're struggling, and some cat that can play three chords on a guitar, is making millions of dollars. It's got to be a little disappointing. But it's all I mean, jazz is an offspring, they would say, of blues, right?
For sure.
Yeah, and the blues is an offspring of what came out of the South. Well, not an offspring; it is the continuation of the music that came.
All
out
the other music grew out of that. To me,
Yeah.
that's how I see it. All the other music grew out of the blues and field hollers and all of that.
Yeah, which blows my mind. And
all of that root is the same.
yeah, and I'll encourage people. There's so much history to uncover. Like when we go to New Orleans, we went to I think it's the Whitman. I'll put it up on the video plantation. And my wife has taken me to a lot of these tours, and it's like they're all the same. They're all look how beautiful
Yeah, you talking about the Whitney plantation?
Yeah, man. Yeah. And that Whitney plantation, that tour is amazing.
Yeah, I'm going there when I go home next month.
It's amazing.
Because the Trepagniers
Mm-hmm.
was on the plantation out there.
Really?
And they had a rebellion where they killed the slave master.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And it's online. I mean, you can pull it up, you can Google it. And I think that's the Whitney plantation.
Okay.
So I'm supposed to go visit that when I go home.
Well, the tour of the plantation is on the side of the slave.
Yeah.
It's not on the side of, usually it's a tour of the fantastic, owner's house, whatever, the mansion.
The slave quarters.
Right? Yeah, this is a tour of the slave quarters and how the slaves live.
Yeah.
And the music.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah, we did it. I walked out of there in tears.
Yeah. I'm going there. My family never went there, so we got plans to go there.
You go there with a joyous heart because it's very well done. Yeah. And the spirit of the music that came out of that is I don't understand it. I know the history. I study it. I love it. I love the blues. But when you really dig into the history of slavery and emancipation and how that music came from there, and we're still talking about it today.
Yeah.
That is just mind-boggling.
The music was there to be able to do what they did to survive
and still have the joy to make music.
The musicianship. My great my grandmother's sister.
Mm-hmm.
She sang in 7 different languages, played mandolin on the river boats and shit.
Wow.
She was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad she did that.
Sang in 7 different languages, played mandolin, guitar, and piano.
Yeah. Well, you can't understand the blues without understanding where it came from. That's just, if you haven't done that, you're not really understanding the blues.
Right.
And I can tell you from a white kid that loved growing up with the blues, I haven't led the life of a despondent musician, blues musician. I've had my struggles. I've had my successes. But you can all find it. Doesn't matter if you're the doctor, you can find it, man. If you're the guy washing the dishes, you can find it. It's there for everybody. And whether you just enjoy listening to it, or if you want to get involved and play it, the opportunity's there.
Well, that's what we tried to do at Barbara's Place.
All right.
We up until I had a few physical issues.
Mm-hmm.
I was teaching guitar for free.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday, from noon to 2.
I remember you were doing that.
And we're getting ready to start that back.
Don't let me know.
And I'm gonna start having guest instructors.
Yeah.
We do start it back, like Blackbird McKnight, Barlow Fundamentals, all of my friends.
Yeah.
That play blues and that play music. Period.
Yeah.
Sure. We're gonna start back again over there. We're gonna start doing some master classes and stuff.
I'm interested to be a part of it. Listen.
That
Take
man
lesson.
right there, I hope, is going to get involved in the drum and percussion workshop with Raymond Pounds and James Gasson. All of
Yeah, I was supposed to
all our old
hook
friends.
up with Gat, I was supposed to hook up with Gat, work on the reading and stuff, I'm a self-taught musician.
Me too.
And Gat said, well, I can help you with all of that. I'm supposed to been got with Gat.
Gat's getting ready, hopefully.
But
we talked about it last year, and I hope he still remembers. But me, him, Raymond Pounds,
Raymond Pounds, speaking of Raymond Pounds, his band was called Thunder Flash. We were both signed to that same label in Jam Power Records in Northridge. But I don't know Raymond.
Raymond, I
met him one time.
I've known Raymond since.
I'm not going to kiss you. What's your pick? What the hell was that good thing on the guitar?
Yeah.
Go ahead, you know Raymond, sorry.
I've known Raymond since he was going to Golfers Junior High School.
Okay, yeah. Well, when you get them two down there, I'll probably be down there working with them too, learning some shit.
Probably
you know, not just I can teach them how to play. Yeah. Now, before the reading and all that stuff, I'd have to get with them so they can get me up on that.
What I'm bringing them down there for is to teach drum techs.
Yeah, yeah.
How to set up for a drummer that's on tour.
Yeah.
How to set up in the studio.
Well, you know
what mics to use. Yeah. All of that stuff. What mics were used on different recordings because they played on classic recordings.
James Gatson.
That's what they're coming for.
James Gatson played on 300 Gold Records.
Yeah. And Raymond's been on everything. He was the drummer on that tune.
Yeah, he was
the drummer on a lot of
Stevie Wonder's drummer
for
a long time too.
Yeah.
Too bad Ndugu's not here, so
Ndugu. I grew up around the corner from Ndugu.
I hope that you're still listening to this. You know, this is like just sitting in somebody's living room and we're just talking. We're not talking smack. We're talking music.
Yeah.
When it comes to sports, we might talk some smack. But, you know, we're just talking music.
You know, me and Ndugu was born the same year, the same month.
Yeah. He grew up 4 blocks from me, and so did David T. Walker.
Oh, okay.
These guys were like my idols.
You grew up in
These were my idols growing up,
in the music community, but
no. What? If you know who John Carter is,
I heard of
jazz saxophone player.
Yeah.
John Carter was my music teacher in elementary school.
Oh, okay.
He taught me. He taught Luke. He taught Sherman McKinney that used to play with Charles Lloyd. A bunch of great musicians.
I had a lot of musicians in my neighborhood growing up too. You know, Pete Dorsey lived on the corner of me. They working in the coal mine and all of that.
Yeah.
And
this is down in the world.
So the Dixieland guys like Paul Barberan and all them guys.
Yeah.
And you know, Gene Nightmare, Mr. Big Stuff. That's my second cousin. You know, so they had a whole lot of musicians in my neighborhood.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Most of the people that I know, all across this country, are most musicians that I've worked with and grew up. They grew up in neighborhoods that were full of great talent.
Well,
you know, like Daryl Darden. He taught LaValle Bell how to play drums.
Really?
He's a hell of a guitar player.
Yeah.
But he taught LaValle Bell how to play drums. LaValle played with like what's his name we were just talking about? Robert Cray.
Yeah.
And all of he's been playing drums.
Yeah.
All of
Robert
Kev Mo.
Because Robert Cray.
He taught them in St. Louis before they moved.
Falcon, that's with Robert Cray right now, the drummer. Who? Les Falcon.
Oh, I know Les. Yeah, he used to play with. I met him playing when he was playing with Johnny Guitar Watson.
Oh, okay, yeah, because he
was playing with Johnny when Johnny died.
Yeah, he was friends, but the girl played with him too for a while. I know he died in Japan.
Cora?
Instead. No, I can't think of her name. And I see her on Facebook all the time. She's a drummer. Yeah, she's a drummer. She lives in Tracy, California.
Oh, Tovia
Bradley.
Yeah.
You know Tovia?
Yeah.
You know what? Tovia, we friends on Facebook. I never seen her play, and we talk all the time. But they say she a bad drummer.
Yeah, she can play.
But she played with Johnny Guitar, and she traveled with him too.
Yeah. Les
on
did.
Japan. Yeah.
You know, remember Michael King?
Yeah.
The keyboard player. He was Johnny's musical director.
Wow.
So this is mostly LA musicians you're talking about, or these?
Yeah, this LA people. Like when we was recording with a group from New Orleans called T, with Louis Andrews on keyboards. Yeah, well, Marvin let us cut an album at his studio. Marvin Gaye on Sunset. He had a studio right next door to the Copper Penny, and he let us record an album over there. And sometimes we'd be there at Night Nixon Rick James would come in with his entourage, and Johnny Guitar, and Tina Marie, all of them.
Remember the piano player that used to play with me, Billy Nunn?
Yeah.
Billy he wrote Mary Jane with Billy. With Rick James.
Yeah.
He wrote Mary Jane, he played keyboards on all that shit. And then he started working with me. He moved out here and started working with me.
Wow, because when my daughter was a little girl,
he's from Buffalo.
My wife came up there one night with my little daughter, and Rick James picked her up and held her up and said, "It's a pretty new baby, you know, this is a little girl," because she was singing songs.
So, was Rick James talented?
Oh, man.
I know, we know him before he had a hit or two hits.
Yeah, he was talented.
But as far as being a musician and music.
Yeah, he was good. He was good. And Melvin, the bass player and singer for the Temptations, was his uncle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Temptations. I grew up with the Temptations.
Well, you know what he was talking about, Billy. Billy is dying, man.
Oh, really?
He's up in Vegas. He's about 80-something years old.
Wow.
And he had a couple of strokes.
Yeah.
He was in the hospital. He ain't doing too good.
I
heard from his wife.
We've been losing so many old musician friends, right? You know, when Bernie Pearl band that was playing with all them niggas, it was 7 of us. It's only 3 of us left.
Yeah.
Bernie, the bass player Mike Berry, and me.
Yeah.
Everybody else is gone.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, I was getting old stuff.
Yeah.
Ain't what it's cut out to be.
I talked to one of my homeboys last week, and I was telling him about some old people. He said, "Albert, what are you talking about? We the old people." He said, "We the old people."
I was talking to
somebody. You know what? You got a point.
I'm talking to somebody about the folks that we all know, and they were like, "Man, them motherfuckers gone."
Yeah.
They're gone.
They're gone.
You're talking about them like they're still here.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Right.
I had to read.
I just had my 68th birthday, and I told my boys, 2 of my boys, I have 4, they're local. Let's go to Niceway Farm. I have 3 grandchildren. Sorry, Selma. So we're sitting there having dinner after all the rides and stuff, and I look at my 5-year-old grandson and I go, "All right, you know I'm your dad's father, right?" He goes, "Yeah, I know, right?" And then it's something like, "And I know that you used to be married to his mother." And I'm like, "You're 5 years old. How do you?" He goes, "I know, right?"
They know everything.
You know, I know.
They've been listening, and you don't know.
Yeah, I know, man. So then I go, "Well, how old am I? Right? How old am I?" He goes, "You're old." And then he goes, "No, you're very old." And I was sitting there on my birthday like, "No, son of a bitch, he's right."
You was something else.
So yeah, man, but you know, like, the music just keeps coming on, man. I play, once or twice a week, and sometimes driving home, I'm like swearing at myself. What the hell am I doing to myself, man? I can be home comfortable when I'm driving home. But when I'm playing,
there's nothing like it.
There's nothing like it. I'm playing with the pickle.
And look,
there's nothing like it.
It's like anything else, man. We've been doing this for so long, and we can't stop.
Yeah, who was it said?
If you stop, you just got to do it. You just got to do it.
You met Chuck, we call the OG, the guy in my band. He has a nice voice.
Yeah.
Not me. He's from Louisiana. He got a soulful Louisiana voice. And after COVID, I was trying to get him to play. He's like, "Oh man, I've been playing COVID. I sound like an old grandma now, all this stuff, right?" I go, "Man, you got to get out and play with this." So he came out finally and sit in with the Bootlegger Blues band, and then again and again, and they're like, "Oh, now you're in the band."
Yeah.
He's
back.
And he's back, and his voice is back now. And he goes, "What else am I going to do? Just stay home and die?"
That's right.
Why
stay home when you could be out there doing your thing?
That's what Barbara Morrison called. That's why I'm so dedicated to working with Barbara's situation. Barbara called my head and said, I had a bunch of injuries, a bunch of stuff that was going on.
Sure.
And she was like, "Look, they cut my fucking foot off. They cut both my legs off. Okay? And I'm still working."
Are you shitting me?
That's what happened.
They cut her fucking.
Oh, I'm sorry. Her foot off.
Yeah, we was doing.
She called me from the hospital.
Yeah.
And she said, "You know what? I'm finna go with Catalina."
Well, what a woman.
and they just cut my foot off.
Yeah.
They're wrapping motherfucker. I'm fixing to go to Carolina and work.
You know what?
She said, motherfucker, get your ass off the fucking bed.
Yeah.
That's exactly
that's
what she
my
did.
motto. You play till you die.
That's exactly
Because
what she did.
we was doing that blues thing on Mondays,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember when she first got her foot cut off, and then about a month later, they took the leg off at the knee.
Yeah.
And she got out the hospital. I said, "Where you think you're going?" She said, "I'm getting ready to go to Europe tomorrow."
I called Barbara.
Wow.
So she took Bobby Spencer with her.
The studio we was talking about?
Went to Europe.
The studio we was talking about over here on Lafayette?
Oh yeah.
I called Barbara when I got out of rehab. And Barbara said, yeah, I'm coming.
Wait, you said you were in rehab? Rehab for your injuries?
No, I was in rehab for drug addiction.
All right.
I had serious drug problem.
Well, that's not uncommon.
And no, it's
Positions,
not.
all right.
And I've been over the course of my career, I've gone down to nothing 2-3 times.
Okay.
Barbara called me up. She said, I called Barbara up and asked her, I said, you know, getting ready to go back in the studio work on a project. And would you come and do a couple songs?
Mhm.
She came over there, and that was the first time I found out that, you know, she had
Still
both legs.
amputation,
Yeah. And she walked in. She said, yeah, I got I got prosthetics and shit. She said, if I could come show up,
Look, I went to
then you could come show up.
That's right, right.
And she booked me into her club, the place over there. And then we were supposed to do the gig. She died.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's like everything I'm doing, all the money I make when we work Saturday, all that money going to her. It's not me.
Yeah, she was a
I don't
trooper,
even
man.
work for money anymore.
Yeah.
Well, what you and I need to do, we'll do another interview talking about your history with drugs and rehab and all that to help other people.
Yeah.
I got a cat out in Tennessee, Jonas. If you're watching this, I'm not going to give up his story, but he's a very incredible, soulful Kentucky bluesman, and his music reflects that struggle. You know, I'll play some of it for you. So it's very real. And why do you think it's so? Why does playing music with the blues? I mean, it seems like there's more people who may have a drug or alcohol issue as a musician than if they're washing cars daily.
Well, everybody has their own relationship with addiction. You know, I've met doctors, lawyers, all kind of folks who have serious addiction.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
without question.
But-
I have my own addiction. So
But
no doubt.
but what I'm saying
Yeah.
is that, you know, musicians got a problem too with it, just like everybody else.
Okay, so you're thinking it's just like society itself.
It's a larger problem for all of us. But what I'm saying is, you can overcome that, you know. But you got to get past all of the. You got to get past all of the other things that are blocking you from blocking that
Yeah,
out.
well, everyday life can put you into
Yeah.
addiction. You know,
Yeah.
just survival.
Oh,
Exactly. Musicians have a little more sensitivity, and then maybe that might be part of their problem.
And musicians have a lot of access to things a little easier than other people.
Yeah.
Because you can be out there on the road, man, and people just want to give you shit.
kind of the celebrity thing. Where
Yeah.
you're just kind
Yeah,
of.
don't you want some of this?
Yeah.
They
Oh,
just
yeah, all
offer
that
it to
too.
you for
Yeah.
free.
Yeah.
That don't mean you got to take it, but I mean,
Exactly.
there's people out there that just want to be
Well,
with the party, you know?
if you
Yeah.
read Keith Richards' autobiography, my life, and I just sorry about the warehouse noise. So Keith Richards is saying when he was a heroin addict, he goes, it didn't matter I was a rolling stone.
Right.
No,
It didn't matter on Keith Richards.
it was about the drugs.
Yeah, and when the drugs would dry up in New York, he goes, I'm down in Harlem with a gun trying to score heroin. They don't give a shit who I am.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just a druggie trying to score. And when you read that, it's like, Well, I would have thought a rock star would just be like, you know,
It was
unlimited supply, because no, when the supply, you know,
No matter
dried out, you
no matter
were
who you are, when you're on that level, you're the same level as the little man.
as a drug addict.
there was a
That's what he's saying. Yeah,
there
it's
was a
crazy.
famous
You
piano.
ain't nothing special.
No, he ain't nothing special at that point. At that point in life, he's not special.
Nothing special.
There was a famous pianist named Jackie Baer. He used to play with Charles Mingus. He used to play with a bunch of famous jazz musicians. He had never touched drugs in his life.
Yeah.
His son was addicted.
Mm.
And the dealers killed him to make a point.
Do his son. Oh, man.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, this is a man in his 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say, we're going to hurt you way.
It said, look,
They wanted to hurt him bad.
you're going to pay our money. And this is what it's going to be.
Yeah, killing them doesn't hurt. It's killing somebody else that you love hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
That's real.
They killed his dad.
They really punished him for that.
But hey, I mean, this might be a little bit alcohol infused. This guy's smart. He's drinking Coke Zeros. But if there were, this is Albert, introduce yourself again. I'm not going to try to say your name
Albert Trepagnier.
because I'm going to stutter because of the whiskey. This cat's got from the city of Los Angeles a certificate that says he's a living legend.
That's right. Living legend of the blues.
He's a living legend of the blues, and we will be doing more of this. This guy over here should be headlining shows around the world as a blues musician. Life sometimes takes different turns. And he is now getting back out in the scene. And may I invite you to be a bootlegger guitar artist?
Yes, you're right.
This is a bootlegger artist. And may I invite Albert to be the first drummer to be a bootlegger artist?
Right.
All right. Yeah, I got a drummer as a bootlegger artist.
And I'm coming